won't stop till I hear him say,
Now, the information, as always, giving you guys these deep rabbit hole dives, it's going to blow your mind for real. And if you really take it upon yourself to really understand how crazy this is going to be and that we get to live through this, man, let me tell you what. Okay, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video breakdown, we're going to be going down the rabbit hole in a two-part video series discussing Alchemy Pay, ACH. With that being said, things that we're going to cover in this video breakdown are the tokenization of real assets. We're going to be talking about trillions of dollars flooding into this market space. If you all enjoy intuitive video breakdowns like this, make sure that you smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We do appreciate the love and the support. And do not forget that this is a two-part video series. I will release them back to back so that way you all don't miss out on any of the valuable information that we release in these video breakdowns. Nothing that we constitute here is financial advice. We'd like to make that clear. This is all intuitive research that you all need to take upon yourselves and do as an individual in this market space, as a market participant in this up and emerging asset class. With that being said, as always, be cognizant, be aware, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video breakdown, and make sure that you return back to the CYPRX YouTube channel for video part 2 of this ACH Alchemy Pay video breakdown. Okay, so we're going to be going down the rabbit hole on ACH Alchemy Pay. I'm going to be explaining to you all why it is that I'm going to be allocating some of my capital reserves that I have held on the side, letting you guys know overall my crypto portfolio, what it is that I'm investing in, and being very open and transparent with you all, why it is that I'm going to be putting money into Alchemy Pay. I'm going to be showing you guys the discounted price that it's currently operating at compared to its all-time high, or its recorded all-time high. Explaining to you all in detail via some of the research that I've done. The rabbit hole goes so deep. The connections are very, very, very intrinsic. And in my personal opinion, this is going to be exponential in the future. So obviously, of course, this is not financial advice. Do your own personal research. This is me displaying some things that are readily available to you all that you all can go and find yourself. I'm going to be displaying some video clips to you all as well that I've taken and displayed in the past to support the theses that I'm covering in today's video. So first, let's just open with what Alchemy Pay is. Alchemy Pay provides the world's most adaptive crypto payment infrastructure and is Asia's pioneer and leader in hybrid crypto and fiat payment solutions. Alchemy Pay is currently launching its second-generation decentralized payment system, integrating DeFi aggregation and the powerful Alchemy Trust system to open up a trusted authentication path between centralization and decentralization. So just a little bit of a brief overview, okay? Now, to start to go down this rabbit hole, we're going to be talking about Bain & Company. We're going to be talking about tokenization of assets. I'm going to be showing you guys some massive, massive, massive numbers in today's video breakdown. We're going to be going over a Forbes article. We're going to be going over some information on the Alchemy Pay website. Okay, then we're also going to get into some fundamentals and articles towards the end of this surrounding Visa connections. All right, so this is going to be a little bit of a longer video breakdown. Again, opening the door and the pathway to you potentially taking it upon yourself to do deeper research on ACH and how exponential it could be in the future. So we're going to start here on this Bain & Company website. Okay. Now, I've told you guys in the past that I was a private contractor right when I got out of the military. I've actually been in the Washington, D.C. Bain & Company building. It's absolutely mind-blowing to see. But this all stems, and the reason why I'm starting on the Bain & Company website, going down the rabbit hole based off of some of the information that Khalid has put out to the CYPRX group chat, is back from this tokenization of securities, automating private asset data flow. This gentleman, Richard Walker from Bain & Company, mentioning $16 trillion in tokenized assets by 2030 being peanuts compared to what distributed ledger technology and blockchain technology could potentially do to revolutionize the tokenization of real assets. Okay, so just take a second, listen to this gentleman right here.
And I think it did when it was published. But one of the headlines, estimates was, 16 trillion in tokenized assets by 2030. And people said, well, 16 trillion, that represents less than 2% of the total asset value across public and private markets. Contrast that to what we're hearing in the market from asset managers. some of whom have ambition to tokenize 15% of their assets in the next few years.
Okay, so knowing that information, okay, that led me to do some research. I read Bain & Company's news articles and fundamental releases quite often. So taking your attention to this one that came out 27th of February this year, 2023, it reads, Web3 remains highly relevant for private equity. Now, the information, as always, giving you guys these deep rabbit hole dives, it's going to blow your mind for real. And if you really take it upon yourself to really understand how crazy this is going to be and that we get to live through this, man, let me tell you what. You know, I'm not sleeping on this opportunity and I have the capital to risk. Again, make sure that if you're going to implement capital into this market, it's money that you're willing to play around with and you don't have any emotional attachment to. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and dump money into ACH. Obviously, of course, I'm letting you guys know what it is that I'm doing in the market. You all need to react accordingly, okay? So it says, despite the hype and turmoil in the crypto world, Web3 technology is here to stay. Anyone who lived through the dot-com meltdown in the early 2000s would undoubtedly see parallels in the crypto collapse. Irrational exuberance, lack of investment discipline, begetting implosions, fraud and scammery. But these two periods of access share something else in common that will have a much longer lived impact on investing. Just as the first generation of internet technology matured to drive a wave of innovation in how we live and work, the technologies behind crypto, collectively known as Web3, will continue to have a broad impact beyond the world of Bitcoin and Bored Apes. Paradigm shift. Now, I've been talking about a potential paradigm shift on the CYPRX channels and platforms for the longest time. So check this out. It gets deeper. Remember how he talked about $16 trillion of tokenized assets being peanuts? I'm going to show you in this fundamental what he's talking about. Watching almost $3 trillion in Web3 related assets value shrink by more than 70% is unnerving, to say the least, but the rise and fall of crypto isn't really the issue. What counts are the core underlying technologies that have made Web3 possible, a set of innovations that will have far-reaching implications for many partners of the world, economy, private equity included. I highlighted this little tiny snippet right here where it mentions Google because we're talking about Alchemy Pay. And if we head over to the Alchemy Pay payment channel, you can see that Google Pay is a part of that integrated, okay? Heading back to this fundamental. It says, these are still the early days, and recent crypto turmoil highlights how volatile technological innovation and regulatory transitions can be. Let's just take a pause right there real fast. And if we come over here to the Alchemy Pay website, okay, this is Alchemy Pay CEO John Tan, guest. He was a guest on INFT AMA September 01, 2022. And one of the highlights from his interview, he even says right here, 96% of the world still have not bought into crypto. 80% of people who said they are interested in crypto have no clue how to do so. Alchemy Pay is here to change that. It's incredibly important we make crypto accessible by anyone, no matter where they are, okay? So in correlation with this Bain & Company fundamental, where, again, you need to understand how early we are in this technology. We've been telling people that this digital revolution is going to take time, and people, because of YouTube influencers and Twitter influencers tapping into people's dopamine, were led to believe that this was going to be some type of overnight thing, right? You're just going to put money into this market and become a millionaire. Well, obviously, of course, that's not the case, okay? And I'm going to show you again why it's going to take freaking time. And when you truly understand that, you will adapt to having patience and really truly understanding what's going on behind the scenes. So continuing this fundamental, scrolling down, we see this is where it mentions on the Bain & Company website, Alchemy Pay. So it says, other picked and shovel companies include node businesses like Alchemy and QuickNode, which help run the connection points between users or developers and chains, whether the transactions involve crypto, tokenized bonds, or anything else. So here it mentions Alchemy Pay and tokenized bonds. That's going to play an important role in just 1 second via some of the things and information that Khalid has found. And also Mr. Mann from the CYPRX group chat has found as well, okay? So we're going to get into that in just 1 second. So remember that, we'll come back to that in just a second. Scrolling down, it says, as the dot-com bubble taught us, the biggest gains in the aftermath of the crash accrue to investors that can shift through the wreckage and identify the companies with valuable, scalable business models. So we're going to get into Alchemy Pay's business model and structure in today's video breakdown, because literally on the Bain & Company website, it mentions Alchemy Pay, it mentions tokenized bonds, and it mentions being able to shift through. Obviously, of course, it's literally telling you right here to do your research and identify the companies with viable, scalable business models, the best-in-class companies that are capable of generating cash sooner rather than later. All right. So we'll come back to that as well. Let's scroll down. Okay. This is where it's going to really, truly blow your mind. It goes on to say, theoretically, any asset class can be tokenized, but some are better suited than others. In efficient, illiquid markets with easy to authenticate assets like private equity, private debt, and private real estate probably have the most to gain. Now, this is going to blow your freaking mind. So literally on the Bain & Company website, where they're talking about Alchemy Pay, where they're talking about tokenized bonds, tokenized securities, tokenized real assets, we've already heard, and I'm going to play some video clips for you all. The Visa CEO mentioned that everything will be tokenized and digitized in the future. We've also seen previous video breakdowns of the BlackRock CEO saying that they are in the process of tokenizing bonds, right? Look at these numbers right here. This is insane. So again, illiquid markets are going to be the most easy to change over to distributed ledger technology and blockchain technology, okay? Like private equity, private debt, and private real estate. Look at these freaking numbers right here, ladies and gentlemen. Global debt, or at least as of 2021, was $160 trillion. Global real estate, $327 trillion. So now do you understand why this gentleman here from Bain & Company, Richard Walker, was saying that $16 trillion is freaking small compared to $327 trillion? That's insane. Absolutely insane. That should hype you up. And understand that tokenizing $327 trillion is not going to happen over freaking night. Anybody with a brain understands that, and understands that this 2030 agenda is for a reason. It's not just to shake people out and, like, I don't know, lead people in the wrong direction. No, it's because it's actually going to take that long. And when you understand that, you know, when prices, like I'm going to show you at the end of this video breakdown, are 80 to 90% discounted from their all-time highs, that should get you interested in, again, investing in long-term value, things that are going to have value over the long term. So scrolling back up here to some of the things that we talked about remembering, all right? So where it mentions Alchemy Pay and tokenized bonds, something that Khalid from the group chat just found is this: Australian tokenized securities potentially being transacted through Alchemy Pay. We see right here, it mentions a couple of different companies, the G Treasury, R3, okay? And you can see on some of these PDFs, it mentions ACH, okay, which is the ticker symbol for Alchemy Pay. Now, this is again from Mr. Man right here. He zoomed in, highlighted what Khalid had found, and it says initiated 4,444 ACH payments in one day, reduced bank fees by more than $300,000 annually. And we see right here the ticker symbol for ACH. Now, there was an individual that commented on this tweet, okay, and he said ACH stands for Automatic Clearinghouse. However, Mr. Man commented back on that and said that ACH is a US-based clearinghouse. There is an ACH clearinghouse known as Australia Clearinghouse as well. And then there's Alchemy Pay ACH, quite interesting. And remember, I showed you all on the Bain & Company website, Alchemy Pay is mentioned in the same paragraph as tokenized bonds, okay? So could it be connected? Is it connected, either directly or indirectly? At the end of the day, I'm just trying to get you guys the brain juices flowing, okay? So now let's talk about the business model, where on the Web3 Bain & Company fundamental, it says, identify the companies with viable, scalable business models. Okay, so let's go over here to the white paper of Alchemy Pay. And right here, you can read their vision. It says, Alchemy Pay envisions a world of greater financial empowerment, dependability, and transparency for individuals, enterprises, institutions, and governments, regardless of location or wealth, enabling by technologies that bridge the gap between crypto and fiat payments. It talks about its missions and goals. There are 5 of them, specifically decentralization. I won't get into detail. I'll link the PDF in the description down below so you guys can take it upon yourself to read these mission statements and goals in detail. It talks about decentralization being the first, large commercial applications being the second. It goes on to say security and trust the third, sustainable evolution as the fourth, and low cost and high efficiency as the fifth. So again, Bain & Company, where they talk about, you know, $300+ trillion of tokenized assets. They mention Alchemy Pay. They mention tokenized bonds, the future of blockchain and distributed ledger technology, potentially revolutionizing this asset class. And it talks about identifying companies with viable, scalable business models. So I thought that I'd share that with you all, that Alchemy Pay has a trustworthy business model for the long term. Now, their CEOs and COs also mention in fundamentals that I'm going to share with you today, they have a long-term vision. Okay, so let's go over here real fast just to solidify that right here. This is from bitcoin.com, and it goes on to say, Sean Shi stated his thoughts for the coming years. In 2023, there will be no stopping us. This is coming from I believe he is the founder of Alchemy Pay. This year, we'll see our app launch, which will be a one-stop shop for users who want to feel the full power and scope of what Web3 and crypto can offer. We are building for the long term. That's how they end this statement right here. Remember, I told you guys the fundamentals. We're going to read this fundamental real fast. How they start them and how they end them are the most important, okay? It goes on to say, Forbes gives Alchemy Pay Web3 Innovation Pioneer Award. What? Okay, cool. So they're getting Pioneer Awards from Forbes. And this just came out January 12, 2023. Fiat crypto payment gateway Alchemy Pay and its co-founder and majority shareholder, Sean Shi, have been officially recognized by Forbes with Web3 Innovation Pioneer Award on January 11, 2023. The Singapore-based payment solutions provider has a major research and development hub across Asia that has pioneered new payment systems at the very edge of modern fintech. After its establishment in 2018, Alchemy Pay became Southeast Asia's #1 crypto payment system. The Forbes Award recognizes the company's pioneering achievements in fintech and crypto. Forbes picked out entrepreneurs, investors, and contributors to open source projects and crypto ecosystems, which have made significant contributions to the development of Web3, saying they were aiming to find cases of value creation by innovating companies in Web3 field and to show how the current Web3 wave is shaping a higher level of autonomy. Last two statements, it goes on to say, Sean Shi commented, "It is great to receive industry recognition for our work in the payment space. The scope of possibility is wide open, and our team is always pushing the boundaries. We have repeatedly proven that any payment scenario with any customization is possible. I'm very proud of our team. In 2023, we'll continue to expand our vision." Remember, I just showed you guys the white paper, their vision. Again, what is their vision? Alchemy Pay envisions a world of greater financial empowerment, including institutions, right? So what are they attempting to do? Bridge the gap between crypto and fiat payment systems. So that is a massive connection right there. Alchemy Pay ended the year by integrating with Arbitrum, the world's largest Ethereum scaling layer 2, going live with Apple Pay and becoming an official service provider of Visa, okay? So that was a massive little tiny statement right there, an article to read. Now let's go over here to the Visa connection, okay? First, this is a fundamental that came out. Alchemy Pay CEO John Tan, guest on the INFT AMA platform. Something interesting that he said right here, I already read the bottom statement where he talks about us being early in this adoption curve of cryptocurrency, where he says 96% of the world still has not bought into crypto. That's massive right there, because not only are retailers not involved in this market, but institutions, and all of this money that the Bain & Company fundamental was talking about is not in this market space yet. So not only is it mentioning $300+ trillion, but also 96% of the world has still yet to awaken themselves to what the potential of blockchain and distributed ledger technology can offer them, okay? It goes on to say, like myself, my other CEO founders hail from traditional finance spaces, from industry leaders such as HSBC, PayPal, MasterCard, to form Alchemy Pay with one mission: to make crypto and Web3 services accessible by the mainstream. So again, in connection with the Bain & Company website, where it says to do research on companies that have long-term visions and missions. Here's a mission statement from the CEO to make crypto and Web3 services accessible by the mainstream. So it's all kind of supporting that long-term vision, which again, in my personal opinion, when I'm doing research, that's what I want to see in a crypto company. That's what I want to see in a crypto asset. That's what I want to see is a long-term vision. Alrighty, everybody, that's it for video part 1. Make sure that you return back for the second half of this video clip. I wanted to cut it short. This video all in all was about 30 minutes long. So I'm going to cut it here. Make sure that you guys return back to the CYPRX YouTube page tomorrow for the second half of this video breakdown, going down the rabbit hole of Alchemy Pay's connections to Visa, Google Pay, and Apple. With that being said, as always, make sure that you all are doing your own personal research, be cognizant, be aware out there, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video breakdown.
I won't stop till I hear him say